May he leave? Yes.
About to give this matter with the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes. You may be seated. Go ahead.
Please state your name, spelling your last name for the record.
Officer Brittany Bray, last name spelled B-R-A-Y.
Officer, were you employed by the Kenosha Police Department on August 25th, 26th of 2020?
Yes, sir.
And in the early morning hours of the 26th, did you have an occasion to collect some evidence?
Yes, sir.
And directing your attention to what we're referring to as event number 2 or crime scene number 2 on Sheridan Road, do you remember that?
Yes.
Now, if I show you some exhibits, would you be able to tell me if you're familiar with them?
Yep.
Just take a look at those and see.
Yes, I'm familiar with all of them.
Okay, and what are they?
They are shell casings.
And are they all the same caliber?
Yes, sir.
And are they all the same make or brand?
Yes, they are.
And those were found in the middle of Sheridan Road?
Correct.
And did you find or log into evidence any unfired bullets at that location of that caliber and that brand?
No.
If there had been an unfired bullet matching those empty shell casings, is that something you would have taken as evidence?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Move those exhibits into evidence.
Objection?
No.
Proceed.
Now the bullets and the gun, please. What's that? I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibit defense. Can you read the number for me? I'm keeping out of my glasses.
Sure. 983.
Defense 146.
146. There you go.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a 40 caliber Glock 27 that I collected on scene.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the
Yeah.
last part of what you said. Can you say?
Sure, sorry. It's a Glock 27 40 caliber handgun I collected at the scene.
Okay, you collected that on Sheridan Road on the 26th?
Correct.
And it is still in the same condition and box you put it in?
Yes, sir.
Showing you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 147. Could you tell me what that is?
It is the magazine that was collected near the gun.
Okay, is that magazine loaded?
It is,
Did you ever determine how many bullets were in that magazine?
I believe, 9.
Is that on the label?
The amount of bullets?
Yeah.
No.
And lastly, Defense Exhibit 148. Could you tell me what that is?
This is going to be the unfired 40 caliber round I found near the gun.
Okay, so there was an unfired round D148 found in the same area as the shells that were in the magazine and the Glock, correct?
Correct.
And did you ever look to see if they were the same make and model?
I did.
Were they?
Yes.
So, might sound like an obvious question or a stupid question, but you at a crime scene, if you find an unfired bullet, you pick that up.
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Cross-examine.
What's that? I would move them into evidence.
Is there objection?
No.
Numbers
146, 147, and 148.
are received.
Good morning, Officer Bray.
Good morning.
Did you collect any other guns or evidence, well, let me put it this way, any other guns than what you've just testified to?
No.
Are you familiar with AR-15s?
Yes.
How are you familiar with them?
I own them. I've shot them. I've trained with them.
Have you ever had an experience where one has jammed on you?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
You have to clear it, usually to rack the slide back to eject the jam, whatever the round is that's jammed in there. Send it forward and another bullet would go into the chamber.
When you have to eject whatever's in the chamber, the thing that's being ejected, is that a spent shell casing or is it
Could be
an unfired
either
round?
or. Could be either or.
We need to make sure we're not talking at the same time for the
Sure.
benefit of the court reporter. So, in your experience, have you ever had a situation in which you have pulled the trigger, the round has fired, but the spent shell casing did not automatically eject like it should?
Yes.
And then that process you've described would be the way of ejecting that spent shell casing?
Correct.
I have nothing further.
Check it for me. Does the court have a ruler? Sure, it's been previously marked as Exhibit 28. Not this specific gun, but are you familiar with guns like this type?
Yes.
And if one had a jam or had to clear, one would pull back. I don't know how to do it.
There you go. Yep.
Right here,
Correct.
Show the trigger.
And that would eject the bullet that was here, correct?
Correct.
And I've got a standard ruler that I was provided by the court from the back of where the charger sits to the end of it, 4 inches. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
And to clear the weapon, you have to take it all the way back and let it all the way forward.
Yes.
which is a very obvious movement, correct?
Yep.
And takes time?
Yes.
I don't know.
Any requests?
Just one briefly. So, if you just fired that gun and that spent shell casing didn't properly eject, rather, what would happen if you pulled the trigger then?
It
Again,
would go click, it wouldn't go bang.
so in order to fire the gun a second time after that, you'd have to do that re-racking. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And then if there were ammunition in the magazine, it would load another round and the gun would be ready to fire.
Correct.
That's all I have.
Nothing on that.
You may step down.